Okay, finally, we've seen, the Fulanis report Biafra Radio to Asorock and to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They said, the Biafran, freedom is getting closer, and the gospel and the freedom of Biafra is getting much louder. And with this now, the Fulanis are in complete disarray. They're in a very big panic mode, and they've reported, the Biafra radio to Tinubu, just like what they did to Nnamdi Kanu. They said Nnamdi Kanu was causing incitement with this radio, that Tinubu and the Nigerian government must find everything possible, every way possible, to make sure they stop, this Biafra radio from functioning. And at the same time, in three continents, this radio has gotten massive support from three different continents. What is your take as regards this?
Yes, I can tell you very clearly, it's a welcome development for 85 million Biafrans all over the world who are bent on hearing their own news and hearing their own diplomatic moves, hearing their own negotiations, hearing their own treaties, establishing diplomatic relations, and know how a Biafra government is going to be factored. And the thing is that a lot of people did not believe that what happened in Finland, was just ordinary. They never knew it was not an ordinary thing, and the Biafran government and the IPOB are establishing their presence in all the continents in the world, and the quickest way to get to reach the people, because of the Biafrans who are scattered all over the world, is to establish this radio Biafra. Even though if there's going to be an election, it's still going to be okay. If there's not going to be an election, it's still going to be okay, because it's a proper takeoff, digital takeoff, communication takeoff, diplomatic takeoff, sanitization takeoff for 85 million Biafrans all over the world. It has been established, launched, approved by relevant authorities in that regard, with Ngozi Rabeze and some other people, spearheading it. And someone seems to have been very, happy, joy, tears, knowing fully well that his subjects have taken up the matter of Biafra, the Biafran Charter, and the Biafran recognition campaign to the more global world. In three continents of the universe, it's not a joke, Africa included, and it's going to bring about Africanism too. It's going to, from what we are hearing, someone from one of the countries has already said to meet Ibrahim Traore to move further in recognition of Ambazonia and Biafra together in that regard, and for support of the Radio Biafra. Radio Biafra was somehow went down in the past, and they felt that it was as relevant as recognition of Biafra the Biafran government is seeking all over the world. And by this way, we keep on sanitizing, getting to communicate and recommunicate to Biafrans both home and abroad, especially our brothers in the South. Very important, and also a medium of translation of the languages among African nations, among continents. If you are in China, you're going to be hearing Radio Biafra in China. If you're from Swahili, South Africa, Zulu, you are going to be hearing Biafran, language. In Hausa too, there's going to be hearing Biafran radio everywhere. So I think the people who thought this have deepened the Biafran solidarity and recognition all over the world.
Okay, but we see what happened, during when Nnamdi Kanu wanted to bring radio transmitter, down to Nigeria here, even recently at the court, there's some to show how to go to, the DSS facility, or office where Nnamdi Kanu is presently in, where they went to cross-check, the radio transmitter Nnamdi Kanu brought in, but do you not think that the Fulanis, they know that as long as this radio transmitter is as long as they know that Radio Biafra is functioning, they know that this will bring more awareness for the liberation of Africa and Biafra?
Yeah, in the end, as much as they have taken it upon them, they are the only one that will go there to report in Asorock, that the Biafra is back, radio is back on air. They thought that it was something they are just going to, turn down after they kidnapped Mazen Kano illegally and other things they are playing with Nigeria. But they didn't know that, we don't know, they don't know the satellite that Biafra radio is operating on now. Whether the Biafran government has launched their satellite in the air, whether they are in partnership with satellite manufacturing companies or corporations around the world. They don't know. Nobody knows where this one is coming from. But the fact is that, people are receiving frequency on their channels and they are listening, because it is time for us to continue to, build on our own consciousness, build on our own tradition and culture, talk about how we intend to kickstart the incoming government, and of course the several trillions of dollars that has already been put in place to start off a typical Biafra at the end of the day. So these things has gradually taken shape, so that immediately we get relevant powerful world leaders to adopt and support and recognize, then we'll have a proper takeoff, and that's why we are seeing these things are being established in exile. And that's what they say a Biafran government is exile. It is not a joke. It is in reality.
Okay, but we saw a Biafran, a very passionate Biafra. Was so passionate. He said he's ready to drop 500 million, for election to hold there in the southern part of Nigeria. He said he will make sure he do his part by donating 500 million, to the people of the Biafran. But a lot of people have advised him. They said, why is he not, investing this money in Biafra radio? Since just for the propagation of the gospel of Biafran, to reach other more continents, just like aside the three that has gotten to, that let him invest this money. Even we've seen even other people advise him to invest the money on security down in the southeast, because the Fulani continue to kill. Do you think that he should really put out this money, for the Biafra radio or for the security, purpose?
It's an extremist, a Biafran extremist. There's nothing wrong with that, about showing extremely that you are a Biafranist. That is okay. But yes, support for election. 500 million. Well, that's what how zealous, how curious, how overwhelmed to see the most popular Jewish black nation, take place physically, recognized by world leaders. And I appreciate his intentions attached to that 500 million. It's a welcome development. But we have to most times, tell ourselves the reality on ground and the truth. And what is the truth? Currently now, we are taking things face by face, taking step one after another in reality. And you see, we have so many Biafrans outside the world, Nigeria space, after the outside Biafran territories. Currently now, most of them are scattered all over the world. There are people too who are seeking avenue of which they can get more information. These are people that either through slave trade, or the Red Cross moved them out during the war, and a lot of means whereby they escaped genocide and war. So those people are looking for a means where they can be getting relevant information, so that we will able to have a one more controlled consciousness. So you can see the positive angle of where if such money is being channeled to project the radio the more, or project the issue of Fulani killing people in the eastern part of the country, and also among other things, establish more resistance movement against the jihadist occupations trying to invade the Biafran land at the end of the day. But let me tell you, add one few things to that direction. There are so many Igbo origin, Igbo slaves, or Igbo generations that are outside there in different parts of the world. I can tell you about Rihanna. I can tell you about Lil Wayne. I can tell you about Lady Cardi B. You know, so many of them, like that, thousands of them, all over there. Now look at what happened to Falcons, Super Falcons. These are the people. Maybe they don't really understand what we are talking about when we mention that there should be a liberation of this particular tribe and race that has been subjected to nothing, and still they still carry the illumination of Africa all over the place. You can see what transpired there. At every point in time, you see the Igbo blood, you see the Igbo bloodline, you see the Biafran bloodline, rising to the occasion to transform the image of this country, to send a particular signal, in all ramifications, socially and other. But you can see when it comes to anything that has to do with politics, they will tell you that this one is no go area, they are not entitled, they are not this, they are not that. But when they come to reality, they rise to the occasion. So, and these people from from the background check, we have discovered, they are Biafrans, whether man or woman. Not only in the football industry, also in the social industry, also in the IT industry. There is so many, all scattered all over the place. This Radio Biafra now is going to serve as a major tool of rebuilding and regaining our consciousness of who we are and what we stand for as the first Jewish black nation in the world, tribe. And that's what we are talking about, Biafra. And this is the only way we can send signals and then invite comrades, invite ambassadors, invite people to speak on that radio, and so that more sanitization and more understanding of what we intend doing about Biafra will come, especially those our neighboring brothers from the Ejo, Ishekiri, and Urobo, and of course the Middle Belt in Benue and the rest of them.
Okay. Thank you very much.
The truth is finally out. Now that the Finnish government has declared the CDS of Nigeria, Musa, a terrorist now, what is the next phase of the lie? What lies can the government tell Nigerians? Now that Samonepa is no longer in the picture, because it has always been pictured that Samonepa is the cause of insurgency in Southeast, and now that insurgency has stopped in Southeast, and now that the Finnish government has vindicated Samonepa, that those sponsoring insecurity and terrorists in the country are those some persons in the military. Now, where would CDS Musa bury his shame? Because a group of people are saying we want to exit the country. Because the Igbos are saying they are tired of the contraption called One Nigeria. That is One Nigeria, it will not work, and then it has not been working. It has been a country full of lies, propaganda, and shame. That has always been how it is from. So I am not surprised that the Finnish government has now come out to say CDS Musa is a terrorist for all the atrocities he has been, for all the atrocities he has committed, in disguise of pretending to keep One Nigeria. And that One Nigeria has caused a whole lot of catastrophe in the country. Just some days ago, a notorious bandit that was declared wanted was seen in Katsina State with top government officials going for peace talk. Between Mazi Samonepa and that terrorist, who is more deadly? But here we are today. Mazi Kanu is still in detention. Kanu is still in detention because of the Igbophobia, of the hate. If Samonepa happens to be from the Fulani extraction, Simon Ekpa would not be a terrorist. I can beat my chest because we've seen Fulani militias that have been given amnesty. We've seen Fulani militias that have been integrated into the society. Now that Finland are waiting to the ICC, Nigeria should immediately hand over CDS Musa for custody, because the French government have done their own findings too, and they've seen that something is pushing under the ground, that this man has a connection with these Fulanis, has a connection with these bandits, has a connection with these terrorists. So if they are sincere, they should hand over CDS Musa to ICC for questioning. Because now that the French government has done their own conclusion, I've seen that CDS Musa himself is not innocent in this. Nigeria cannot pretend as if they are not aware that CDS Musa has been declared wanted by ICC and the Finnish government. No matter how they tend to die the matter, it is in the social media space. Everybody has seen it, that CDS Musa has been declared wanted by ICC and the Finnish government. No matter how the Nigerian government want to die this matter, but they are very quick to declare Simon Ekpa and IPOB a terrorist group. Now that the Finnish government and the ICC has declared CDS Musa a terrorist, why is the story not online? Why is the story not flying online? Because they themselves are also part of people championing insecurity and terrorism in the country. And that is why I say that anybody that speaks against the vision of the country, they will do everything possible to take that person off the hook. They will do everything possible for them to take that person off the hook. That is why I see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention. And the Finnish government, they were so gullible to be used by the Nigerian government. They were just too gullible. Because if they were not gullible, why would a country like Nigeria come to tell you that Simon Ekpa is the one sponsoring insecurity all the way from Finland, and you sit your ass down in Finland and you believe them? But there are some rumors that the envelope also change hand. You know Nigerian story now. You know Nigerian government, that Nigerian government, anything that Nigerian government cannot do to bribe does not exist. I am very sure that the government have bribed the Finnish courts, and that is why I see that Simon Ekpa was wrongfully accused and sentenced. Now that the appeal court is now coming out to reverse all your stuffs. It is now a very clear indication that Simon Ekpa is innocent of all the charges leveled against him, because the Finnish government has come out to indict CDS Musa, saying that CDS Musa is the major financier of insecurity in Nigeria, and it should be tried by ICC, not just local courts. It should be tried by ICC. Enough of all these presents. We know that this one Nigeria, it can never work. No matter how we tend to rub our heads, no matter how we tend to try to patch things up, that one Nigeria cannot work. And that has always been the current state of mind. that one Nigeria would not take us anywhere and that it will not work. Today, the truth is not coming out. The truth is not coming out. Now, the list of people, ICC will publish names of people sponsoring banditry and sponsoring insecurity in Nigeria. Their names will be published. And when that is published, let's see how Sidia would escape it. Let's see how Sidia would escape the wrath. They have used kangaroo judgments to sentence Simon Ekpa. But today, the truth is not coming out. The truth is not out. That everybody knows the reason why insecurity is still thriving in Nigeria. And it's just because of one person that claims he is protecting the masses, rather underground, supporting the fight for terrorism. But the question is, how long can we continue to be deceived? How long can we continue to be deceived by the Fulanis? Don't forget that the CDS is a Fulani man. How long can we continue to be deceived by a Fulani man in our own country? And tomorrow you say that Biafra will not exist. Biafra will exist. No matter how you tend to hold it, Biafra would exit the country. No matter how you tend to keep it, Biafra would exit this country. And I am sure that Mazen Kanu and Mazen Simon Ekpa will come out strong. No matter how they tend to do all this rubbish, they will come out strong. If today is the first time of coming across this channel, please kindly like this video, share it, comment for more political discourse. Thank you.